Hello and welcome back to a Saudi Discovered. Today it's all about Jakarta Explained. And Katie, we're going to be talking about Dan Ticktum's first win in Formula E. Now, a lot of things have to happen, have to come together for someone to win in Formula E. Although we've had a chat and we've isolated it down to 5 key reasons, key moments that made Ticktum's first win possible. And the first one, Katie, is before the race, it's qualifying.
Yes, a very important part of a Formula E race weekend, and Dan Ticktum did a fantastic job in qualifying to get through to the duels. Didn't make it past the quarterfinals, missed out by just 0.005 of a second to Taylor Barnard. But yeah, still a stunning job and qualified P5, which is very important.
P5, very important indeed, because a lot of the drivers talk about P6 and down being the jungle, being the danger zone, because everything's packed up. It's where a lot of the chaos, a lot of the coming together of Formula E drivers happens.
Elbows out racing in Formula E.
It really is, and Ticktum, by avoiding that by starting P5, it already goes a long way, especially on a circuit like this. It was very dusty, it's very unpredictable. It's important to do what he did.
Very much so, yeah. Great qualifying position from him, and was, like you say, one of the key reasons why he eventually got that win.
It was, and we'll go into more of those reasons by starting now with the race start. So he's there in P5. You can see him just behind the Jaguar car of Nick Cassidy. But it doesn't take long for that to be a thing of the past, as Ticktum makes his way past Cassidy pretty much off the line into the first few corners, making that good starting position even better, Katie.
Very much so. Fantastic start from Dan. He tends to do well with the race starts. I think we can see Nick Cassidy kind of chucking his nose in a little bit later, but yeah, there he is, right on cue. But yeah, gives it his best shot to get the position back, but Dan Ticktum shuts that door and says, no, thank you, 4th place is now mine.
Yeah, really good car positioning here, and it's worth talking about. I mean, you can see it there, how dusty it is on the circuit. A lot of drivers were going offline, a lot of them, some of them even into runoff areas, that sort of thing, but not Dan. Dan kept it very much online throughout the race because he's one of those drivers that likes that challenge, doesn't he? He likes a bit of drifting. You can see a lot of movement on the steering wheel during the races, and he certainly played into that strength here, didn't he?
Very much so. He's a bit of a drift king, Dan Ticktum, but yeah, in the case of today or this day here, yeah, he manages to keep it clean, keep it cool, and keep that position.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the next thing, because yes, he's in a good position. He's made himself up into P4 at this point, and then it becomes all about strategy, trying to predict what's going to happen in the race, and also trying to understand what eventualities might happen within your own strategy. A crucial part of that strategy being attack mode. Now, this is when Ticktum and Cooper Curry decided to go into attack mode. We'll just stop it there. And that was a moment, that's Bohemi, but we'll go back a bit just to get Ticktum in shot. There we go, Dan Ticktum right there in attack mode. Now you'll see, based on the majority of his competitors at that point in the race, he's gone into attack mode earlier. Now Katie, that is a bit of a risk, isn't it? Because you're going into attack mode at the point where the field is most bunched up, and you've got a lot of positions to make up that you're going to lose doing attack mode.
Exactly, yeah. Although you've got the benefits of 4-wheel drive and the extra power with attack mode, of course you have to go off the racing line to take it. So it very much is a risk, and Dan does drop back a few positions, but like I said, with those additional benefits, he's able to make those positions back up and put himself back into 4th by the time that we have one of the most unpredictable moments of the race.
Absolutely. This was another moment that very much helped the Ticktum cause. This was the moment where the 2 race leaders at the time, Jake Dennis and Nick de Vries, came together and actually caused a stoppage, caused a safety car. The main reason being things like this, all of this debris all over the track caused a safety car, a complete stoppage of the race. And if you think about what that meant for Dan, he'd used his attack mode, a solid 4 minutes of it. He'd made himself up back into the position he started the race. Everyone ahead of him still had their attack mode to use. Some of them have even lost the chance of benefiting it because of the safety car. And then all Ticktum needs to do now is just try and manage that position, doesn't he?
Very much so. Like you say, everybody gets so bunched up together under a safety car. We've also got to remember that people like Jake Dennis, half of his front wing is now missing, so that might impact things. So yeah, Dan's probably rubbing his hands together behind the steering wheel thinking, there's something exciting could happen here. So yeah, great from Dan.
Something else we didn't expect was what would happen after this. After the race restart, after this stoppage, you had both the race leaders, de Vries and Dennis, out of the race through technical difficulties, which meant all Dan then had to do, being in net lead, was see it home.
Exactly. Still have one more attack mode to take, but like you say, with the issues with Dennis and de Vries, both different issues as well. Kind of crazy, but yeah, all he had to do is bring it home, and that's exactly what he managed to do.
We go back to that moment quickly, and then after this, you see all Dan Ticktum needs to do is bring it home, like you say, up against a very feisty Eduardo Mortara mind. Not an easy person to go against, but there he is, crossing the line, maiden win in Formula E. Very, very important for the team, which brings us to our final point, that being the inevitability factor. Because after that podium in Tokyo, it just felt like it was a matter of time before we'd have scenes like this.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Ticktum, it was his 60th Formula E start, and what a way to finish it. I mean, he's been in Formula E for what feels like forever, but not had the machinery to kind of support his success that he's shown in previous series. However, with the changes that have come into season 11 for the Cupra Curie team, yeah, he was finally able to make it happen and take that maiden Formula E win. So magical scenes. I don't think there are many people in this paddock that weren't delighted to see this for him.
Yeah, it was a huge moment for the championship, and it, testament to the momentum that they'd been showing as a team, because in the last handful of races, no one scored more points than Dan Ticktum, which is amazing to hear, isn't it?
It is pretty spectacular. And yeah, also have to give a shout out to the Cupra Curie team, because this was their first win since season 1, Saunders, since Moscow with Nelson Piquet Jr. So obviously amazing achievement for Dan, but also shout out to that team as well.
There we go. There's the 5 reasons that we think of many, because as we know, it takes a lot of things to come together to win a race in Formula E. It's teamwork, it's driver, a little bit of sprinkle of luck, but this is how Dan Ticktum did it, and that was Saudia Discovered.